welcome all you Mickeys and Mitches to another episode of Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch, we watch a movie together, and then we rush into the studio to tell you how it made us feel. Not just whether we liked it, what stuck, what surprised us, but that emotional thread from our very first watch to the way it resonates with us today. So, grab your coziest blanket and get settled in, because today we're coming back to a familiar movie, ready to see what hits differently and what still lingers emotionally.
Yes, this week we are going over the 2003 A Mighty Wind.
Oh, I love this movie so much. Spoiler! So, here's the thing. We're doing this for a reason. Not just because we love the movie,
Yes.
because we love the people that are in it.
And all the other movies that they did together.
Well, first of all, we waited
Yes.
a full week to do this because it was emotionally charged.
Yeah, it's very few. There's very few actors in this world that when they pass away, I have a visceral reaction to. One of them is going to be in next week's movie, so I'm not going to say who it is, but this is one of them. And another one was Jim Henson.
Yeah.
I had Jim Henson makes sense. It was my childhood. The other one,
But
weird.
Jim Henson still makes me, I still
I
tear up
still
thinking about.
can't deal with that one myself. The other one, that person, I can't really explain other than I just, I was in a weird place when I became obsessed with that person, and it was a comfort and to have lost them kind of
Through you.
Yes. And this person, well, they died very recently, and I guess because I didn't expect it. I didn't know that they were sick. I didn't know.
Why would we?
Yeah, it's not our business. So it did come as a surprise and a shock because I was hoping for more movies like this.
Yeah. I was at work when I found out. I had to walk.
I know you called me, but you had to go outside.
I'm tearing up already now still.
Yes.
And I don't have any personal connection
No,
to her.
none whatsoever.
Other than, what she's left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're talking about Catherine O'Hara.
I truly don't understand why I'm having.
Because she's just... So for me, I think it's because she's been a part of us growing up. She's been in a lot of movies that we resonated with. Like for me, she's the mom in Home Alone, and knowing like that Macaulay Culkin still calls her mom, that kills me. That means something from somebody who has gone through the shit that boy has gone through, and then to come out the other side, but to have such caring thoughts towards this woman. There's just a thing there. And then, Beetlejuice is a favorite. It's just a hands down.
You're covering for me right now.
I am.
I appreciate that, but let me go over her thing.
Yes.
Okay.
You do your thing, and then I'll do mine.
Thank you for doing that. So first of all, she is a actor in A Mighty Wind. She plays Mickey Crab.
Yep.
And she's been in a lot of things, but she passed on January 30th at 71. And it was probably one of the biggest losses in a few months anyway.
Yes.
She was versatile. She was beloved as a comedic performer. And she's celebrated for her sketch comedy, her film and television, her voice acting.
God, her voice acting.
I know. She remained a defining collaborator for Christopher Guest. and his ensembles like A Mighty Wind, which
Eugene
we're
Levy,
doing.
you know, him and Eugene are always writing these movies together.
Right. Her career began in improvisational comedy and sketch comedy for SCTV.
Yep.
Which is just awesome because SCTV has put out some of the best people, not best actors,
Nope, people.
not best improvers, but the best
People.
people.
We've got Rick Moranis. We have Martin Short. John Candy was a part of SNL. Not SNL, I'm sorry. Well, he did do SNL. No, I don't think John Candy did SNL, but he did do SCTV.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are people that, you know them. They're old actors, but, there are Rick Moranis alone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good person.
She was in SCTV from 1976 to 1984.
Yep.
That is just a crazy amount of time. And she won a Primetime Emmy Award.
Mm-hmm.
She went on to star in, like you said, Beetlejuice, Home Alone 2, The Reckoning.
Well, it does have Donald Trump in it.
Best in Show, which is another one of our
I
favorites.
love Best in Show.
Schitt's Creek, which is
Moira Rose.
one of the most, for me, important TV shows of a lifetime.
Oh, if you've not seen this show, you are missing out, people.
There's so much that just hits for especially LGBTQ
Oh,
people,
yeah.
but also those people who have to deal with the classism.
Mm-hmm.
It is a satire.
It is a satire. And, if you get like any TV show, get through those first few episodes, because yes, you aren't going to like the roses. You're not supposed to like them.
Well, you're not supposed to like them until they become human.
Yeah. At first, they are just spoiled rich people.
Once they become humanized and they're no longer those rich, spoiled people, they grow into you. They become more you.
Yeah. I mean, and you love Eugene Levy's character, because I can't remember what Mr. Rose's first name is for some reason. I'm blanking on it. But you kind of like him because he's kind of the I've not so much given up, but almost slightly realistic. He's not realistic in the beginning because he is still rich guy, but he's the one who's like trying to make the best of his situation. And then you like David because David is just likable. And the reason why you like Moira the most, because you love Alexis, don't get me wrong, but Alexis is the hardest one to get to like, I think, because she holds on to it for so long. Moira never gives up her arrogance. She just makes it work for herself. And I think everyone loves Moira because Moira is so...
I think she just never gives up her power.
No, and she doesn't.
She never gives up her power. She doesn't give it up for anyone, including bad movies or, the people's ridicule. She does not give it up to them.
No, because she has this whole, any criticism is good criticism because as long as they're talking about me, I'm still relevant.
Right.
But when you watch Schitt's Creek, Moira Rose is the polar opposite of Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, sure.
So the fact that Catherine O'Hara can create this character, and she created her. I mean, that the accent is all Catherine O'Hara. And the wigs are named after all of her friends.
Yeah.
Which I think is so freaking amazing. I mean, to do that.
Well, so she worked with Christopher Guest and Eugene Levy, but she did, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, For Your Consideration. These are all character-driven, and that's what she leaned on for almost every movie that she has ever done, a TV show. They're all very character-driven, and they have this improvisational, comedy that is built into the character.
Yes. And when you look at, A Mighty Wind and Best in Show. What Eugene Levy and Christopher Guest did was they created the idea, they created the characters, and then they basically gave the actors an index card with a scene and a plot, and all of it was improvised.
Right.
And that is
all the dialogue,
beauty of those movies
I
is
love them so
that they're
much.
so improvised, but that's what makes them believable.
So while Catherine O'Hara did not have a lot of detailed specifics about her philanthropic activities,
Mm-hmm.
she was widely known in the industry for supporting charitable causes, particularly those connected to the arts, children's welfare, and community-based creative programs. So her career in ensemble-driven comedy also reflected that deep commitment to membership, collaboration, and uplifting her fellow performers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important we recognize not just our emotional connection to Catherine through her movies, through her television, but also that she had a profound impact on the industry itself.
Yes.
She is going to be missed.
She's utterly and completely going to be missed.
So,
I actually made a point of not looking at any reactions from Eugene, Daniel.
Oh, no, that would have killed me.
Yeah, no. Even Macaulay, I couldn't even look at any of their reactions towards her death.
But there are other people in this movie.
Yes, there are.
I don't want to keep focusing on Catherine only because if I just cry for an hour, it's just an hour of me crying, which is probably great ASMR, but not great for us.
Well, really quick, though, before we go on, because I do want to talk about the movie, but I want to talk about a couple of other things with her.
Okay.
She had a disorder called situs inversus with dextrocardia, which meant her inner organs were mirrored. So her heart was on the other side of her body, which nobody really knew that.
Right.
She only, I think, within the past, few years or so, came out with that. She worked with Eugene Levy for over 50 years.
I know. You got to love that.
I know. She met her husband, Bo Welsh, on the set of Beetlejuice in 1992. They were married and they were together until her passing. And like I said, Macaulay Culkin still calls her mom. She actually, John Candy passed away on her 40th birthday. And she did the eulogy at his funeral.
Aww.
And that just broke my heart. She also received, not only did she get, awards and stuff like that, but she also received the Officer of the Order in 2017. So in Canada, that is an award that is, it's an honor for those who have an outstanding level of talent, dedication, and service to their country.
Yeah.
And that is
I'm glad they recognize that.
Because she is amazing and, again, will be missed. So, yes, there are other actors. There
are a lot.
A lot of actors. We only went over 12.
This is what they call an ensemble.
Ensemble. We have Eugene Levy, who is Mitch Cohen.
He was in Schitt's Creek,
yes,
Best in Show, and I threw out an outlier, American Pie.
Oh, yeah. He's the dad, isn't he?
Although he's been in so many others, and we even went through... We did one earlier in this podcast, Splash.
Yes, we did. And he is in Splash as the scientist. I cannot think of his name at the moment, but I just remember my favorite line in that movie from him, just me and the moron twins. And trust me, I use that line a lot. Beth will be like, what are you doing today? Nothing, just hanging out with the moron twins. It's usually our cats or the dogs. We have Christopher Guest. Sorry, I have them numbered and I couldn't read my number until I got close. Christopher Guest, who played Alan Barrows.
He was in and obviously is, a part of the writing staff for Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman, and This is Spinal Tap.
Yes, which I have some trivia relating to that too. We have Michael McKean, who is Jerry Poulter.
Another alum of This is Spinal Tap.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Better Call Saul And Laverne and Shirley, which that's how I knew him.
Because he's Lenny.
Yes.
He is Lenny. And yeah, like, you know what always actually angered me was that Squiggy is in Willow as one of the brownies, but Lenny wasn't.
I know.
And
that
I needed it to be both Lenny and Squiggy to both be.
That would have been so perfect.
And I'm not even sure if that really was Lenny or Squiggy in Willow, but I always thought it was as a kid. So I'm just going to go with it. And if you don't know who we're talking about, we're old.
You can look it up.
We have yet another Spinal Tap alumni, Harry Shearer. It's like all of Spinal Tap.
Who plays Mark Schubb.
Yep.
He was also in The Simpsons. He does a lot of work for The Simpsons.
Oh my God, yes.
And Saturday Night Live.
It's pretty much on The Simpsons. If it's not the core cast, it's either Harry Shearer or Hank Azaria.
Sure. It's kind of their thing.
Yeah. So we have Jane Lynch, who plays Lori Bonner.
She was in Glee, which I think a lot of people will know her from.
Yes.
Best in Show, and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I like to put those outliers in there.
Oh, yeah, because I honestly
don't remember.
Think I saw that one, so I didn't know she was in it. I know Michael Scott's in it.
Sure.
Okay.
Steve Carell,
yes. We have John Michael Higgins, not John Mitchell, John Michael Higgins, who played Terry Bonner, her husband.
Right. He was in Best of Show, did a perfect job in that. Was in Pitch Perfect, which we did on the podcast. The Late Shift. And I'm going to throw out just another outlier just because these things are kind of fun.
Yeah.
He was, oh my God, Psych.
Who was he in Psych?
He was the, my butt crack is really long. He was
the guy who was trying to get he was in love with the rich lady, right. And they thought he was scamming her.
Well, he's a scam artist. Lothario.
Yes, but he was genuinely in love with her.
Sorry, I did the butt crack is too long as
because
Bob's
that was
Burgers.
From Bob's Burgers, but it's the same type of a
Prince
thing.
of Persuasion.
Prince of Persuasion.
That kind of thing. But yeah, I wanted to throw that out there just because.
That is funny because I forgot that was him.
It's another Psych alum that we like to throw in the Psych references when possible.
So we have Parker Posey, who I would like to think is the youngest person here. She plays Sissy Knox.
And I love Parker Posey.
I do
so
too.
much. There's so much about her that I love. I love that she is universally the snarkiest actor possible and still be sweet. I don't even know how she manages that.
Because she plays, so in here, she is playing a genuinely sweet character who had some shit happen to her, but really, that's her just talking about her past.
Right.
But, on Parks and Rec, she's a freaking bitch, but I love her too.
But she was in Best in Show.
Yes.
Dazed and Confused.
Yep.
And Party Girl.
Party Girl.
That's right.
So.
That was her movie.
Yes.
So I like that.
We have Fred Willard as Mike LaFontaine.
Who, again, was in Best in Show. You're going to get a lot of these references. Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, my God. Who?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Anchorman.
Yes. He's also the car driver in New Girl when they go to the Moby party.
That's right. the Lyft driver or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's in a lot of things. Because didn't he have also a cameo in How I Met Your Mother?
Oh no, I think it was in Parks and Rec, wasn't he, or something?
He might have been in Honey, he's done everything. I mean, the man, Fred Willard.
I don't know. He's been in
until
a lot
he passed
of things.
away. He did a little bit of all.
I know, but I love the fact that not only did he continue working, he was always wanted. People sought him out
because he's fun
to show up in these small roles, but very
because he makes an impression. He's got that
absolutely. And you don't expect Fred Willard. He is like the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, no.
In that way, no one expects him.
And you're like, holy shit, it's Fred Willard. Oh, look at that.
I mean, how many times have we seen this movie? I did not expect him. I'm like, holy shit.
Exactly, and I know he was in it because I wrote my list.
The white
spiked hair.
It's just
what's happening. He's so ridiculous.
It's crazy.
We have Ed Begley Jr., who plays Lars Olfen, who uses every Yiddish word he knew in that opening scene with him.
Which I think is entirely unfair.
Because he used them all.
But he was in he was in Transylvania 65000.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was in Saint Elsewhere.
Oh my
which
God.
I love that show. It's been so long. And She-Devil.
Okay. I think I know that one.
Well, that's the one with, oh my God. Sorry, I didn't know.
Roseanne, right?
Well, yeah, it's Roseanne, but it's also Meryl Streep.
Yes.
So let's not forget the headliner of it.
I know, but
I remember.
But unfortunately, it's a Roseanne.
And Linda Hunt. So
oh my
remember,
God,
Linda Hunt was in this.
Holy crap in a hat.
Yeah.
And, and last but not least, we have the woman, the myth, the legend, who I, honest to God, I want to be her best friend, but Beth wants just a fraction of her
bravery.
Her bravery
of performance.
Her no
she
fucks to give is Jennifer Coolidge. I would actually love to be able to do her voice.
Yeah.
That would be...
Probably what she's best known for most people, is Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Played a great role in that. She was in American Pie as well.
Yes.
With Eugene Levy. She was in The White Lotus, which is a more recent thing that people can attach to.
Yes.
She's in the Minecraft movie. She's done so many things, but, keep in mind that she's done Best in Show. She did a lot of improvisational things.
Yes, and she does, I think, Target commercials sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
Or, no, Discovery Card. Or
it's the one she was doing this past Christmas where she's playing the piano and then she's snarky.
It's about the card. Something about the card is not... It's not what you think. So it's Diners Club? Not Diners Club.
No, not Diners Club. That's not in existence anymore, I don't think. Well, I don't remember. I just know that she was very snarky in those commercials.
Oh, yeah.
And in this movie, she plays Amber Cole. And Amber, I don't even know where she's... That accent is like mail order Russian bride without it being a mail order Russian bride. I mean, she just had a...
Discover Card.
It's
not sponsored.
Okay, not sponsored, yes. But yeah, her character in this movie, I could not really I couldn't place her. But
no, that's understandable.
And it's supposed to be. She's awesome and she has no fucks to give. Oh my God, her and Ariana Grande when they do the mirror scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so good. I love them. I love them both, but I love her. So yeah, that is like a fraction of the cast.
That is but a fraction, and we don't leave anyone out without. I mean, we can't just keep going through this. There's just too many people. I do want to bring up, however, and I think you meant to bring them up, and I probably derailed that. Is
Bob Balaban? Yes.
Yeah, Bob Balaban.
Jonathan Steinblum.
Right, and his character kind of kicks all of this off in the first place because it was his father that died.
Yes. Not in real life, the character's father.
Right. He was also in Best of Show. He was in The Monuments Men, Moonrise Kingdom, which is an excellent film.
I love Moonrise Kingdom.
Dogs, Absence of Malice. He's been in a lot of things. This man's, everybody in this movie. He was in Close Encounters, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So, 1977, as a child, I watched him.
Mm-hmm.
So he is, much like everyone else in this film, not just an actor who showed up for a movie, but a foundational actor in the business who has seen it all.
Yes.
And still has the lightness of character and being to be able to pull off improv.
Yes.
And he is thoroughly annoying in this film.
Oh, utterly.
And I love it.
Oh, I know. Him fussing over the flowers in the foyer. And then the guy's just like, I'll just get a beer sign and some carnations. And he's like, well, that's just tasteless. And it's like, but you've been just fussing about this beautiful arrangement. And then he's like, just be careful nobody pokes their eye out.
I know, but not only did he do that, but he brings it up on stage.
After the fact.
Eyes poked out.
So this is going to be a hard one when it comes to the plot. The plot is a basic reunion.
The plot is fairly simple, but let me read through the IMDb of it all.
Yes.
And maybe the plot will present itself. So the IMDb is, when folk icon Irving Steinblum passes away, he left behind a legacy of music and a family of performers he has shepherded to folk stardom. To celebrate a life spent submerged in folk, Irving's loving son, Jonathan, has decided to put together a memorial concert featuring some of Steinblum's best-loved musicians. There's Mitch and Mickey, who are the epitome of young love until their partnership was torn apart by heartbreak. Classic troubadours, the Folksmen, whose records are endlessly entertaining for anyone able to punch a hole in the center to play them. The new Main Street Singers, the most meticulously color-coordinated nouvetet ever to hit an amusement park. Now for one night only in New York City's Town Hall, these three groups will reunite and gather together to celebrate the music that almost made them famous. And that is written by, please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Sujit R. Varma.
Okay.
It was a very well done thing.
I
had trouble reading it because it was so cohesive. Not because it was badly written, but because I have trouble reading something that's really well put together.
No, I get that. So as I had mentioned in my clues from last week, the concert that we only see parts of at the end of the movie is actually filmed using television cameras and as if it was actually going to be broadcast.
I know, and you get that feel.
And you can watch the whole thing on the DVD.
Okay, before we go further, we forgot to mention the director, which is Christopher Guest.
And Christopher Guest directed it, and it was written by Christopher Guest and Eugene Levy.
But Christopher Guest was in This Is Spinal Tap. He also co-wrote that. Best in Show as the director and writer and actor. Waiting for Guffman, director, writer, and actor. And also a movie we did before, Princess Bride.
Yes.
He was an actor in it.
Yes, he was.
So I just want to mention that because shamelessly self-promoting our older
episode
of our podcast. And also, Christopher Guest is probably a godling of some kind.
Probably
a deity.
Shapeshifter, some
puckish even.
Very. So, and I also mentioned how everybody in this movie appears in another movie together, which would be Best of Show, except for one actor, because I think Harry Shearer is not in Best of Show. It's somebody, I forget who it is, who's not in Best of Show. So yeah, Harry Shearer was the only one who is not in Best of Show. Best in Show, not Best of Show, Best in Show. Because I keep saying, oh, that's in. And I'm going to say it probably again.
Was he too good for Best in Show? Too good for dogs? Does he have an allergy?
I don't know.
What's his dealio?
Man, I love that movie. And the reason why I love Best in Show is because I was a dog groomer for a minute. And I thought I always I love watching the dog shows to begin with when I was younger. Like after the Thanksgiving Day parade, they always show. And then later on in life, I found out the truth about that dog show and how staged it is. But even then, it's entertaining. I get to see puppies. But when I lived in Texas, I was a dog groomer with my friend Kelly. And she was a master dog groomer, one of 200 at the time. And she taught me a lot about dog grooming. But also, that was like her and me. Like we would watch that movie and just... She's like, that's
tear
correct.
It apart.
No. Kelly she said that movie was pretty damn good.
Oh, okay.
When it came to like how they showed it. And she goes, and honestly, the backstage stuff, pretty ridiculous. It gets pretty crazy back there.
Yeah. So we are doing this podcast, this episode, the day after we intended to do it.
Yes.
It got very late. We had a D&D game that was encroaching.
Yes.
And we really wanted to play. And we didn't want to come to this rushed.
No.
Nor did we want to come to it half done. We saw half the movie and we're like, we can't finish it. We need to start again the next day.
We'd had a busy morning, so it wasn't like we'd gotten to it.
So you're getting a different energy right now.
Yeah, we're doing morning energy as opposed to exhaustion.
Which is much like my night energy, but with morning breath. I don't know.
I got coffee breath. I did brush my teeth,
Well,
but
what
you'd
I'm
never
saying.
know because, coffee.
Coffee breath. So, A Mighty Wind is a gentle and affectionate mockumentary. That's the whole point of it. It is not a action-based thing. It is about aging folk musicians reuniting for a tribute concert.
Yes. And now actual folk musicians from the 60s, like Arlo Guthrie and such, wanted to be a part of this. And the reason why Christopher Guest was like, I don't want to do that, is because he felt it would have taken away the parody aspect of it, which it would have. And he was trying to like not offend them, but at the same time be like, guys, this is really supposed to be making fun of y'all, Well,
it's
not making fun of
really
you,
making
but
fun
like
of them, but really being satirical in their view of what's your importance in the world.
Yes.
And how the world has moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we literally have one of the biggest bands of these is playing in a theme park.
Yes, and that is the New Main Street Players or singers, right? Players? I only wrote it down. It's the New Main Street Singers.
I don't know now. Now I'm wondering.
And now I really am questioning what I wrote. It's not important. The important part is that they are now playing in a amusement park.
It is the New Main Street Singers, now that we
have
thoroughly talked ourselves out of it.
Thank you. And they are, I mean, there's a lot of parody in that, like in the sense that the New Main Street Singers is, they were meant to be a parody of the New Christie Minstrels, which had members. They were originated in 1981, and they had Kenny Rogers, Kim Carnes, and Barry McGuire were all members of the New Christie Minstrels at some point.
So I guess they were meant to be like Nickelodeon putting out the hits.
Ish.
Nickelodeon kids, Disney kids, they kind of grow up to be the
I was thinking more of Menudo.
Oh, sure. I guess,
Where,
but
like,
you can't say
out.
Kenny Rogers wasn't a star.
Well, but he wasn't then, I think, when it started. But
I'm saying that's what they churned them out. They
Kim Carnes.
Yeah, they were drawing in people who would later become stars, is what I was getting at.
And Christopher Guest's character, Alan Barrows, he mimicked his character to be like Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right.
Which, if you don't know, you know, and then after this, because you look at him and you're like, oh, yeah, no, that is totally, that is totally. What is your favorite Peter, Paul, and Mary song? Because everybody has one, and they don't even realize it.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, most people say Puff the Magic Dragon.
That's my most nostalgic one.
Mine is Cruel War, but that's because I got to sing it on stage. But I did the Revolutionary War version, not the Peter, Paul, and Mary version, but they made it popular during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Because the message still,
I don't know that I had a favorite. Puff is the one that I am most nostalgic about.
Mm-hmm.
If I hear it, it definitely brings in a very particular feeling for me.
It always made me sad.
It is sad. It's extremely sad because this is a sad... Puff the Magic Dragon was a sad story.
Yeah, Little Jackie Paper.
Right. And it's not just a sad story, but also the fact that I was going through... I mean, I was an abused child, so...
I really need to look at the lyrics in that song because I've never put that together. Little Jackie Paper.
Yeah.
Look, rolling paper? Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, I understand that.
Oh my God, I've never known... I've never put that together. How did I miss that?
That's not the purpose of the reason why it's sad.
I mean, holy drug reference right there. How did I miss that? I am 51 years old and I've never put that together. Oh my God, I feel horrible.
It's funny that I got something you didn't
I know.
A long time ago.
So Mitch and Mickey are a parody of Ian and Sylvia, which are a Canadian folk duet, and their song that made them famous was Four Strong Winds. And where Mitch and Mickey's is A Kiss at the End of the Rainbow. And actually, Mitch and Mickey got together for the 2004 Academy Awards and were announced as Mitch and Mickey by Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's
and they
so
performed A Kiss at the End of the Rainbow.
Aww.
I know. I wish I had looked that up after. We didn't have time to go and watch it again. And so here, let me give you my Spinal Tap. Oh, really quick though. Not Terry Bonner, sorry, the character. That's the character's name. But John Michael Higgins wrote all the songs for the new Main Street Singers.
Okay.
So originally they were actually supposed to sing together in harmony, but he decided that no, they needed to all have parts, you know. And so he wrote. They just let him do his thing. So he wrote all their songs, and Michael McKean's wife said that she wrote all of their songs, Annette O'Toole, as they were driving from LA to Vancouver, because this was during 9/11. And she was on Smallville at the time, and she had to get up there to do Smallville. So while he was driving her, she wrote all of the Folksmen's songs.
Oh, okay.
The Folksmen, I'm just going to keep on going here. The Folksmen originally appeared on Saturday Night Live as a sketch in 84 and 85. And especially when Michael McKean was opening, he was host, because Shearer and Guest were members at the time.
Right.
The Folksmen opened for This Is Spinal Tap at multiple concerts and were booed off because the people didn't know that it was the same guys that they were there to see. And just my last bit of rando throwing this out you. I mean, it's not my last one, but this is my moment here. The drill your hole thing. So in the movie, the Folksmen are talking about, and this is Harry Shearer, I believe, is talking at this point about how they were signed to this one, distribution group for their albums.
And you had to punch a hole in the
Well, then
record.
they got put to another one, which they were kind of downgraded.
Right.
And that's when you had to drill your own hole. So apparently in the 80s, I guess it was, or maybe it was the 70s. I didn't get a year on this one, but there was a punk group, an acid punk group called Gay Bikers on Acid. Gay, Gaye, Gay Bikers on Acid, who literally released an album with no hole. The B-side had a black dot that for you to drill your own, and the album was called Drill Your Own Hole.
That's actually brilliant.
Is that not brilliant, or
like the triple entendre?
Oh, there's so much going on there. So much. And Parker Posey and Eugene Levy both had to learn their instruments. They didn't have to. They wanted to learn their instruments just for this.
They didn't have to learn. They got to learn.
So does that mean that Catherine O'Hara already knew how to play that?
Yes, the dulcimer.
That is awesome. Yeah. I love
It's not a dulcimer.
No.
Why did I say dulcimer?
I think it was an auto harp.
Yeah, auto harp. I don't know why I said dulcimer.
Because Sylvia played the auto harp in Ian and Sylvia,
Yeah,
so I think it's why. So, yeah. I went on.
I know, that's fine.
But there was so much information.
This is a talky podcast.
But I thought it was such interesting information. And I love that they parodied actual bands. Well, except for the Folksmen actually is supposed to be like, I think, I forget who they're supposed to be like, but the Weavers.
Oh, okay.
So in the beginning of the movie,
I know who that is.
Well, no, because I wrote it and it got kind of.
No, I said, oh, okay, as if I knew who that was.
And I don't even think it's the Weavers. I might be wrong on that one, but they, in the beginning of the movie, when you first meet the Folksmen as grown adults, and they're old men now, not old men, but old-ish men. They are at a reunion, and it looks like a family barbecue.
Okay.
And that's done to mimic a documentary that was done called The Weavers. Wasn't That a Time? Where they're doing a documentary. It's this folk band or this band doing their documentary at a reunion. Type of a thing that one of the members had this big farm, and they were doing it that way. And so that's why they're sitting at this looks like a backyard barbecue, but it was supposed to be their reunion.
Okay.
I just thought that was really cool and neat.
So I think you covered everything.
I think I did.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Don't forget to tip your host.
They'll be here all week.
Yep.
So yeah, what are the emotional, of course, we never even asked because we just went right into this. How did you feel when you first watched this movie?
Confused because I didn't understand. So I came into this movie, I think it was playing already. So I was like, is this a documentary? Wait a minute, I know that actor. Wait, I know that face. So it was like my brain trying to catch up with what I was actually seeing.
Not understanding it's a mockumentary.
Yes.
You're trying to
because I'd seen
come to terms
this
with it.
one, and yeah, I really wasn't quite grasping the whole, because again, I didn't know anything about it. I don't even think I heard it, like ads for it. 2003, I don't know. I was living in a fog at that point. I was going through a lot of shit, as per usual. Actually, I don't even remember. I really don't remember why I didn't know much about this movie. I just know I was watching it, a little bit confused, and then I was like, oh, I get it. Still a little confused, because how did they get those pictures of them in the past if this isn't real? Were they all performers at one point? I mean, literally, my brain is going a mile a minute while I'm watching this, but I was entertained.
That's how well done this movie was.
Yeah, I really had to sit and, because again, we didn't have the internet. Like, I wasn't like I could go back and like Google was, Eugene.
I mean, you had the internet in 2003,
yeah, but not
informationally.
I had an analog phone that I had to, with 3 buttons for T,
You didn't have easy access to Google and stuff where you could just find everything.
Yeah, we didn't walk around with little computer phones, we didn't have that.
Computer phones?
Yes, we had.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it's a little tiny phone, a computer, and I keep it in my pocket.
Yeah, we didn't have something that could literally launch a space shuttle.
Exactly.
Now we do. Now we have something that's more than capable.
Exactly. So it wasn't, and even then, I really would not have thought to use the internet to find that information. And in 2003, the internet was still young enough that this information may not have been on it yet. Not to the
maybe
detail.
Not in a place you could find it.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be very niche.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I was excited when I found Xena fan fiction. But that was a thing. I didn't even know what fan fiction was called at that time. So, yes, even if I wanted to, I couldn't have verified this. So I liked believing that Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy had a folk band back in the day.
And that is a possibility.
Could have been. They have worked together for 50 plus years.
So your emotion is confused.
Confused, but entertained.
Okay.
I did enjoy it, and I did like it, which is why I came back when I realized even more so.
I came to it after knowing Waiting for Guffman, which is the only one that I saw in the theaters.
I don't think I've seen Waiting for Guffman.
Okay.
I think that's
That'll be
the one I've not seen yet.
So I kind of knew what I was in for in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Though the format changes, just like you look at Best of Show, it is not the same as this, but it has the same feel.
Yes.
And when I saw this, I think I was just over the moon that so many people were doing improv.
Mm-hmm.
There's something so emotionally raw about improv. And maybe it's because I can't do it. Maybe it's because I can do it and I appreciate it. You'll never know.
That was improv.
But I think that that's hip hop.
I literally was going to say that. Damn it.
Sometimes improv is knowing what's going to happen.
That's hip hop.
So for me, I was thoroughly happy. I was kind of ecstatic to see these people ensembled again and to know that they were continuing this. And I want more of this in different formats. I want more of these things.
Yeah.
This movie hits on so many notes, and we'll get into that. But I was so excited and happy that this existed because I saw this, I think, I may have seen it on when we were doing the Netflix DVD.
Yeah, back in the day.
I think they actually still have a DVD thing. I think that only ended like last year, maybe.
Oh.
But back when Netflix was only DVD, before streaming was a thing, which was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
But that's when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super excited.
Yeah.
And I saw it with Joe, my best friend. He's dead. I can't harm him by saying his name.
That's why I didn't hesitate to say Kelly.
Yeah. And I think that it was one of the things we really bonded over.
Mm-hmm.
We bonded over a lot of things like Aaron Sorkin shows.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, obviously. We bonded over a lot of things, and one of those was this improvisational format. Waiting for Guffman was one.
Mm-hmm.
This is another. And, Best in Show. These are all... This is Spinal Tap. I don't know how many times we watched that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, not my favorite.
Not my favorite, but I do love that Fran Drescher is in it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Because she's not who you expect her to... Like, you see her and you're like... That's not the nanny.
But I have a lot of good memories to it because of Joe.
Yeah.
So I associate it with good things, even though it's not my favorite of these movies.
Yes. So we've discussed this in the past. I have this weird secondhand embarrassment that I have a hard time watching certain sitcoms and even movies because I have that reaction towards the asinine behaviors of characters and the choices that they make because my brain is like, I don't understand. And I feel that with This is Spinal Tap. I get
that.
I get very uncomfortable where I just can't watch it anymore only because I have that secondary embarrassment. And so it causes me anxiety. That's why I don't watch. And when I was little, I hated the Three Stooges. I always thought it was a girl thing, but I just think it was a me thing.
No, I understand that. Part of it is that it's what we call now the cringe. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to have the cringe. That is the purpose of the comedy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Of that particular comedy.
Yeah.
Some people really enjoy it, even if it makes them feel that cringe.
I guess that's why people like roller coasters. They like that feeling of falling.
And why they like The Office.
But see, I like The Office because it didn't... It makes me frustrated sometimes because I know that those people have never ever stepped foot in an actual office.
Sure. The writers.
The writers we're talking about, not the character, not the actors.
Well, okay, so here's how I term whether or not you're actually having a cringe effect to it or if it's just that The Office doesn't always have cringe. How do you feel during the episode? Sorry, my voice broke there. How do you feel during the episode of Prison Mike?
I want to hold his head under the water until the bubbles stop.
Yeah, but is it so cringy you don't want to watch it?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so same here.
I hate it.
It is so cringy, I have to skip that episode. As much as I love The Office.
But we have that with most shows. There are certain episodes where we skip ahead because
not because cringe.
Oh, for me, it is a lot of cringe.
A lot of them are just because I just don't want to see it. I mean, it's just not a good episode.
The scene in Parks and Rec where Larry, whatever the fuck his name is, he's doing the milk.
Oh God, yeah, the milk. That is horrifying. Yes, where he's talking about her breast milk coming in.
And then also in The Office with Kevin in the milk as well.
What is it with yelling at breasts?
I mean, screaming at breasts. It's just not. Oh, you morons! But yeah, so yeah.
So the cringe factor is an issue.
But it's funny because when we're watching something, we're both like, "Yeah, that's the episode."
I know. we know when to skip an episode, and it's not always the entire episode. It's just a small part, but we can't watch it because it's too reminiscent of it.
Yeah, and I think there are some shows where we were amazed that there aren't those episodes. Like, I think do we have a Psych one?
I don't think we have one for Psych.
I don't think
we have one we don't like.
I don't think we have one for Bob's Burgers, do we?
No, and I don't think we have one for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No, I don't think we do.
I can't think of one.
Nope.
These are perfect films.
Though the Florida episodes are kind of pushing it, but
the Florida ones are only annoying in the fact that I don't want them to be in the situation.
Yeah, but they're not.
I love the characters too much to have them in that situation.
Yeah, and
I really hate Holt being put into a subservient category. So I don't like it when he's a beat cop either.
I don't like it when he's a beat cop either. So here we go. We digressed onto television shows.
Sure.
But yeah, but it's basically to explain that I did not care for This Is Spinal Tap.
Okay, so but we know that this film, which is A Mighty Wind,
yes,
it hits on nostalgia.
It does.
This entire thing is nostalgia. It hits on the feeling of this very white,
very
cishet.
Yes.
Until you dig a little bit underneath the surface of it.
Harry Shearer looking at you, weirdo.
Well, not just him, but there's a lot of gayness.
There's a lot
hiding
of
within
gayness.
the hetness of it
and
all.
Cult. There's a cult.
Sure, but that's an ideology.
Cult of two.
That's an ideological.
I know. I'm just saying. There's a
not...
cult. Nobody else is in the cult, right? It's just Jane Lynch.
I don't know. I think if you're in a cult, you're probably getting the other members of your band involved.
Because she said
ways.
It's another. So what's really funny is I did just listen to the episode of the podcast Morbid. Hi, ladies. I still want to be your friend. Where they talk about Heaven's Gate.
Not a sponsor.
And I realized that happened in the 90s, and then this is 2003. So I wonder if she was using a little bit of that as part of her character. Like,
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know if that was something that Levy and Guest created, or if it's something because when they're talking about this other dimension that they believe in, and it lives in her head, first I was going, oh my God, it's Heaven's Gate. And then, oh my God, it's in her head. And then they're sitting there humming and indigo.
I kind of don't think that it was planned. I think she just came up with it.
I think it's brilliant,
because the look on his face isn't just fear, but him going, I've got to think of a name. I got to think of my lines for this. Yeah,
because John Michael Higgins in the scenes when Jane Lynch is talking about her and him and their relationship. Well, first when you meet them together, and again knowing that this is improvised, Jane Lynch, chef's kiss, bitch, because this shit. She's like, oh yeah, well when we met, I was doing this, and then I ended up in a sex. Emporium, and then she ends up in the porn industry, and because she could do a thing that none of the other girls were willing to do, and you could see the look of terror on his face as he's
every time
listening to her, and then later on when she's talking about their religion and the other dimension that lives in her head that's based on colors, and once again he's looking at her and his eyes are wide, and this look, and the camera pans at him, and I have to wonder if he thought the camera was going to look at him at all, and he was just reacting in his face going, what do I do? Oh shit, I gotta come up with a counter to this. What do I do? And
so what I love about this is we're going to get so many people commenting on YouTube, because it's normally where I get comments about how none of what we're saying is true, that this was written into the film because they know it so much better, but we're just observers. We're not experts in the film.
Nope.
We're not experts in any particular industry.
Nope.
That handles it. We are fans.
Yes.
And we're okay with being wrong.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Because we're talking about emotions.
And all I know is that when I was doing my research, it said that the character backgrounds were created and that the actors were given index cards with a scene outline with a plot. And then the rest of it was improvised. So, I don't know what was her idea and where
it ended.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and that's fine. I'm just pointing out that we're probably going to get some comments.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I like that. I am glad we got a comment on Death Becomes Her.
Uh-huh.
And it was really enlightening. It went through a lot of the end scenes and for why the ending was the way it was. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed that. It doesn't change our episode because
we already recorded it. Yeah.
Well, no, it's just that we're emotionally based.
Oh, yeah, we're emotionally based. Yeah.
I'm not trying to review the film critically.
And I like to do the trivia just because it tickles me.
Sure.
It's not about the ins and outs of it, though.
Yeah, we're not reviewing critically reviewing a
No.
film. We're just talking about how a film made us feel and the things that we thought they may have felt.
Exactly. And this, now watching this, it made me even happier because knowing what I know about improv and how hard it is and how I'm not good at it. As much as we come up with shit, and I mean, honestly, I think it's more for our own entertainment than anything else when we sit and,
banter back and forth.
Yeah, because it's sometimes so. Oh my God! Sometimes I think we scare the people in the food stores. We'll be up at the cash register, and this bitch will start to say something, and sometimes I'll fight. Not fight, but sometimes I'll be like, yeah. And then there's other times where I just kind of go with it, and we just kind of go down this merry path of insanity, and you can see the checkers just like going, I fucking hate my job, because they have to listen to people all the time. We just figure we're entertaining.
But that's how I process my insecurities of being around people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think,
except for our one checker at Walmart, bless this woman. I do
it with her as well.
I know. Well, we do it with her, but she gets a kick out of it. Like she loves what she does.
I process my anxiety through humor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will always start making jokes whenever I'm feeling nervous around people. And it's my way of diffusing that feeling. So, in a lot of ways I do a lot of, improvisational, oh my God, humor, as best I can, because I don't process the same information that other people process in a more, I think, normative way for them.
I mean, there's no such thing as normal to a certain degree.
Holistic, let's say. Holistic
I mean, as what most people consider.
They're not autistic, so I'm just coming up with it the best way I can.
And again, as the older I get, the more autistic I think I am, but I don't know if it's because I work with the population or if because I always have that underlying bits of weirdness underneath my skin. I know I definitely have the ADD bug.
You got the ADD? Yeah, you know me.
But
I'm
yes, as I have pointed out many, many times, a former professor told me one time that you have to have a touch of the tism to work with this population. And I live in this population. So there we are.
But this film is about nostalgia.
It is.
It is entirely the passage of time. It is about the things that you miss, the things that you wish were, and by you, I mean, again, white, cishet, for the most part, people, this is how they will feel, because that is the joke within it.
Yes.
It is part of the satire. This is almost entirely white.
Yes.
There's one person in it who is not white that I can think of, and he is a background singer in the New Main Street Singers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of
and that's part of it. That's part of the satire.
Yes.
So there's this another thing that I really liked is the fact that the partnerships, these groups, are all so exceptionally fragile.
Oh, they really are.
Every one of them are built upon these long-standing connections to each other, but they're all very fragile within themselves. It's like every one of the groups is made up of its own china shop. And the bull isn't them. The bull is expectation.
It's the fame.
Yeah, well, it's the expectation of fame or the expectation of what should result from that fame.
Yeah, and that's a problem that I think a lot of people in the industry, from what I've seen of, not to say that they were failures, because when you look at like Macaulay Culkin and you look at like Drew Barrymore, they didn't fail. The system failed them, and they had to deal with that, and they didn't have a good enough support system to help them at the time, and they were young, and so that makes you fall. And then you look at like just bands that have disappeared, Like they would have those, you have those one hit wonders and then they break up. Or you have ones that you're thinking, oh my God, this is it. They're going to have like the best career. And then the next thing you know, you never hear from them again. And they'll have.
Same with actors who you think are going to be, they're going to be huge. And you just never see
them again. And it's because it's a hard industry to begin with. And sometimes, like you said, it's the expectations in that industry that it puts so much pressure, not only in just the keeping up being awesome. You have to look a certain way. You have to behave a certain way, dress a certain way. And that after a while, I could imagine that would be exhausting.
And part of that is this performance is bringing all this back up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they've been playing together, they're remembering that time where they were much bigger.
Yes.
Not playing in a theme park.
Exactly.
When they were on stage. And some of them never saw that.
No.
They're having to live up to an expectation set by
other
the people that came before them. And now they're in the band.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as great as it used to be.
Yeah, and that would be mostly the new Main Street Singers, because with Mitch and Mickey and the folksmen, they are all the same original members, but it's the new Main Street Singers. I forget the Main Street part. The new Main Street Singers, they have that Menudo-esque kind of, people come, people go.
Sure. And it's the name
mm-hmm.
that they live on. But again, it's devolved to they're playing in theme parks, not on stage. They're playing out in the street in a theme park.
Yes, kind of like in like a little Diaz and our Diaz. I always say it wrong. A little tiny platform. That's what it is. It's right around the roller coasters and
it's right in front of the roller coaster or the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it's like, all I could think of is Six Flags Great Adventure, and they're right near the arcade area and then the rides area. Right.
But for like Mickey and Mitch, they're learning to play again because they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their whole thing is they broke up.
Yes.
And that is a hard thing when you're attached to someone romantically and then it falls apart and then the art is left behind.
Yes.
You never escape the art. The music is always there to remind you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no place to run from it.
No, when you have, and especially having a relationship that out in the open where the world saw it.
Yeah.
I could not imagine, having to deal with that pressure of you can't fight in public because, people are going to be like, oh, and that when you have to turn on and be on all the time, you don't get to be human with your partner. So then sometimes that can be wearing and that can be an issue and can cause more strife within the relationship.
Well, you never get the closure because you just fell apart and there was no way to get the closure because the expectations were there for y'all to be together.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that.
And anytime you could be driving down the road and one of your songs could come on.
Right. I mean, but it lives in your head.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like one of their favorite songs. They loved singing it,
mm-hmm.
and they loved it because they loved each other.
Yes.
And then to have it not be there, but the song is still there.
Mm-hmm.
It is, you can't get a break from it.
Nope.
It's always in your heart. So the song becomes this endless torture for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no wonder they feel so awkward with each other.
And Mitch is not right.
Well, he's definitely not autistic.
No.
I'm not saying, and in no way are they alluding that he's autistic.
No. And I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking of, I was thinking on the lines of Syd Barrett Brainbird.
Sure.
They don't really say that he did a lot of drugs, but they also didn't say that he didn't do a lot of drugs.
Well, I think also he just probably lived through like several decades of severe depression. And I don't think it had to do with her. I think it had to do with Mitch himself.
Oh, definitely, because he doesn't have any, like when the dude in the studio is talking about how she's throwing stuff at him but Mitch, he just lost it, but he didn't say what happened when he lost it. But you know that he ends up in a mental health facility.
Right.
And they were like, well, he left too early.
I think it just broke him.
I think it did. I don't
think he had an outburst. I think he just broke.
I think so.
He stopped being a person. He withdrew.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're talking about. What they're referencing is this man who was, and you see him in the films, in the nostalgic scenes where they're singing and he's animated.
Yes.
And
but he's
now
not like that.
He is very much, I don't want to say like a lobotomized, but definitely like he is shut off emotionally.
Yes.
And he's having to come up with the words for those emotions.
And when he's talking, he does have this drawn out, and then he like says, so it's like he's got to.
Me in a lot of ways.
I do too. But I find with Mitch at the end, he's become more healthy. He even says, I am happy.
Well, that's the point.
He got to have that closure.
That is it. They both got to have this closure because her marriage was just a marriage with a guy. They didn't attach.
No, he like miniature trains.
And he was always on the other side of the room. They had a marriage of convenience, not a marriage of love.
No.
And I think this allowed her to move on as well. I think both of them never got that closure.
Mm-hmm.
And they never, at least she never realized she needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because for her, the pain was the point.
Yes.
Being in that emotional pain was how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just lived in it. Because she never really got, I think, the emotional attachment she wanted to have with Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
She loved him, but he never fully committed to her in a way that she felt she needed.
Yes.
And I think that Mitch never was able to voice his love outside of poetry or song.
But he found that voice again after this reunion because he said, I'm writing poetry again.
Right.
And that's beautiful.
And it's not love for her. He found the ability to feel again.
Yes.
He unbroke himself.
Yes. And I really, and I love that for him. I mean, because Mitch, to me, is one of the most endearing characters in this film.
I think it's also, I love Mickey too.
Oh, I do love Mickey too.
I love that she got her closure and maybe she can emotionally commit.
And I love how she cares enough that when he goes out for some air and then she can't find him, yes, they're supposed to be going on stage and that's probably freaking her out that he's not there. But she was genuinely scared for him.
Yeah, she was worried about him.
She's like, he could be face down in a gutter and it wouldn't be the first time.
I know.
And it's like, God, she's been through a lot with this man too,
So with the Folksmen, their thing is very much like a friendship that just kind of, okay, so here's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that whole thing with the drummer, like is the unluckiest drummer in history.
Yeah, because he left and da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it wasn't that he was unlucky. It's just that and there was nothing wrong with him. It wasn't the fact that he was too good looking. There's a lot of rumor. But the whole thing is, he just didn't have the chops.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to play the drums fairly well.
Yeah.
But guess what? Ringo Starr played it much better than him, and he had more presence. So when he played, because I forget the guy's name, when he sat out, because he was sick, I think, and Ringo stood in for him, the rest of the band really said, this is who we're looking for.
Oh yeah, and while Ringo has grown through the decades, he's gotten a lot of his respect back, but he became kind of like the joke. That's because his character, when they made those movies and when they would portray themselves, he was the jokester. He was the
he didn't mind being the fool.
He didn't mind it.
He didn't mind being the fool because he had a sense of fucking humor.
And that's what he was doing.
And he didn't take everything so seriously that he was like, I have to be considered an artist.
No. While he is not, he's not my favorite Beatle. It will always be George Harrison. Hands down, my heart is with that man. But Ringo is not, I don't dislike Ringo. And I love him even more now as he's gotten to be an old man, because he's even funnier now. When he was Mr. Conductor in Thomas the Tank Engine, before George Carlin, I mean, that was awesome. But then George Carlin took over and it was even better. But even then, I loved it.
And we're not a music podcast, but so I'm talking about the Folksmen.
I talked about TV.
Yeah. And they're reminiscent of that.
Yes.
Because you had 2 original members,
Mm-hmm.
and then they found a third who fit them.
Because they were a different band. It was just the 2 of them, and
right.
I forget what they called themselves, but then they brought in...
Right, and they made it a threesome.
Because one sang high, one sang low, and they needed a middle.
Yeah.
And you always need that to have a nice rounded sound when you've got strong male voices. You need to have that balance.
So for them, it was about this collaboration that started out of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That friendship grew over time. And I think it's one of those things of, what's your endurance?
Yes.
Okay. Can you always be in the band together, or do you need space? And obviously they needed space.
Yes.
But they're not friends.
No, you know what? It kind of, in a way, makes me think of, I know they're not called this anymore, but it reminds me of the Dixie Chicks. So I think they used to have a different singer before.
Yes.
And so it's always been the sisters.
Yeah, they literally had the new singer installed.
Yes. And she's...
Not that she's bad.
She made them. I mean, I'm not going to say she made them popular, but she brought them... She kind of brought them to more, outside of just the country, to the more mainstream
Oh, no, she
pop,
definitely did.
Because she had that edgy bit about her. And honestly, I will tell you straightforward, I do not like country music. I have deep-rooted feelings for it. It's again, my background and my growing up with certain people who in my life, and anybody in your life who had a certain type of music that they listened to, and they were not a person that you wanted to be around, you tend to not like that music.
Sure.
Okay.
Association.
Yes, I have a lot of association with music because music tends to be my go-to on things. But I love the Dixie Chicks. I loved when they were getting pissed on about fucking George Bush, and I love that they were giving everybody the finger, and that's the bullshit I love.
That was punk rock in the country.
Exactly. But they remind me of the Folksmen remind me of that, where it's the 2, even though they're not siblings, but it's still the 2 guys. And then like the third, where like if she was to leave, it would still be those 2 sisters together. Sure. And that's, I don't know why it made me think of them, but that's what it made me think of, was the Dixie Chicks.
Because that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And that's good. So they obviously needed that separation, but they're still friends.
Yeah.
So when they come back to this, they're actually, oddly, of all the groups, they're kind of the rock.
They really are. And they were because they're the ones who are they're not performing out in amusement parks. They're practicing. They're coming up with new material. They're just like, oh, let's come up with, let's do this they're ready to be a part of this reunion.
Yeah.
They're not even fucking around.
And I like that they're kind of the foundational core of the sets.
Yes, because when we get to the reunion, one of their songs that they had been practicing,
and obviously rehearsing,
the new Main Street Singers open with it.
Like a bunch of dicks.
Oh my God.
Like a big old bag of dicks.
I still think they should have, I think they should have performed the song anyway.
I was with him. It should have just gone ahead and done it.
So I did a snarky thing along those lines back when I was in high school. My senior year, we had the best English teacher on the planet, Mr. Jackson. And he...
Janet, if you're nasty.
This was the man who had us doing Gregorian chants, dressed in robes, walking through the school. He had us watch. We did the Canterbury Tales and then watched Holy Grail, Monty Python. while the teacher
He was
did a
obviously a Monty Python fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge. And he roasted a pig. But before all of that, he had us looking at medieval poetry, and we had a choice. We can hand it in, which would get you a C. You could recite the poem, which would give you a B, or you could sing the poem. Well, I was very introverted, very shy. I'd never been on stage before, other than maybe like one or two little things. And the guy before me, there was a guy, and he went up and he read the poem I had picked out, and I was only going to read it. But then Mr. Jackson called on me, and I get up there and I said, I have the same poem as the blah blah, but I'm going to sing it. And looking back, it sounded like, now I'm going to sing it, but it wasn't what I was actually intending. And then I just kind of was like, da, 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 da. I kind of did like a Greensleeves-ish kind of poetry. Honestly, I think it was I Gave My Love a Cherry, which was in Animal House. And I don't even think I intentionally did that, but I found that out like later on because I was like, that sounds familiar. But I got an A. Hey, but I would have done, that reminded me of doing that because like, I would have been like, they just performed our song, but we're going to do it the original way. You know?
I think we can all like find stories like that because I had that in 8th grade. Reagan was newly in office.
Yes.
And
you thought you could do better than Reagan?
No.
Yes.
He was a subject for everything.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do these book reports. We're supposed to do like a small biography. And so we were all supposed to pick different ones. So we all had like a list. Someone picked Reagan and did it before me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I've got to do, I'm still got Reagan. But I got to do work. But now I have to do it better than them to get a better grade.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of my friends pretend to be Secret Service.
That's nice.
And I acted the biography as Reagan.
That's cool.
So I tried to do the voice and do the, well. So I did the whole like thing. It was like, well, mother, she says, it's that kind of thing. So I did the whole thing as that, and I did get a good grade. It was a B plus. But the other person got a C minus for going against the thing they actually originally picked.
That's funny. While it wasn't, I've been there. I've done those types of book reports, but where the teachers actually wanted us to. I think I did Judy Garland dressed as Dorothy, and I did Bette Midler being interviewed by Oprah.
It's just a funny like visual of I got two friends wearing Ray-Bans.
That is
and have
funny.
their hands on their ear like they're listening to, the Secret Service listening in.
That is,
and they're on either side of me as I do this. It was funny.
Yeah, I don't think I would have had friends.
Scary as hell, but funny because I'm not.
At least you weren't alone up there.
That's what made it okay. I think. I could manage that.
And here I'm giving Oprah having to interview Bette Midler and talking about her throwing her towel into the bathhouse that she was performing at, and I'm going, this was probably not well thought out on my part. I mean, I was in high school still, but even then, I'm doing not really doing a nude scene, but talking about a nude scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So anyway, we have the folksmen who are the core of their. For me, they're the emotional foundation. They're the most stable. And even among them, they have these issues. I don't want to go too long because we're getting on time. But if you look at Mark Shub, who at the end, after the concert's over, and they're talking about where they are now, what they're doing.
Yes.
She has come out.
Yes.
And I think it was a nod to the fact, as a trans woman, I do not see an issue with this. In fact, even when I remembered it was going to happen, I was like, I'm okay with it because the joke isn't that she exists.
No.
The joke is that she has a really low voice when she's singing.
Yes.
Because that's the part that she's doing.
Yes.
She is singing a very low key. And at the end, after she goes, like, EAOs, she does a little flip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I love the fact that Harry didn't make her into a trope.
Yes, it wasn't a parody of somebody who is transgender. He was portraying somebody who was genuinely, I used to be, I was a bald man, and I realized that for the rest of my life, I want to play with these guys, perform music as a blonde woman, as who I really am, a blonde woman, not a bald man. And, he's being true, or she's being true to herself, and Harry Shearer is doing it. I don't think, I could see how people would see it as being a joke, but it's not.
Being trans isn't the joke.
And they are not reacting.
Well, actually, I kind of love the fact that of the reactions, Alan, who is his friend from the start of this, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Alan is not upset at her. Alan is upset. You can see the way he's taking it. Mm-hmm. He's upset that he's known her for so long.
And didn't know this.
And you feel that coming through. I do not get a sense at all that he's mad at her for coming out. He is mad at her. He's not even mad at her. He's irritated that he wasn't trusted. And I get that. Mm-hmm. I understand how people feel about that. Because when I came out, my biggest fear is they would think that they weren't trusted.
Yeah.
It wasn't about them being trustworthy. It was about me feeling comfortable enough to share the biggest secret of my entire life that I've held since I was 5 years old. Letting someone in is the hardest thing to do. And I don't want to harp on the trans thing because...
But also, I appreciate you saying that only because when you did come out, you came out to a small group of us, and then I would have people questioning, and I was like, it's not my place to tell you anything about this because it's not, you needed to be comfortable with the situation to talk to people like my parents or, outside of our little inner circle of family. And when I say family, I mean friends too. Right. It's our little...
because I view family and friends as the same thing.
So for me, I was getting frustrated, not with you, but with the people who they would find out or just get, hinted ideas of, and would come to me and, well, is this true? It's not my place to say whether this is true or but I couldn't, but saying that would have been outing. Right. So I would say no, because it wasn't my time or place to say a damn thing, because again, it was your secret, your thing to, and yes, you said, it's not about trust. It was about you coming to terms and feeling comfortable in the situation. So people who were getting pissy with me and especially after the fact, and well, why did you lie? Because it wasn't my fucking place, people.
Yeah, and it wasn't on you, and they could have always just asked me.
Yes, and I
probably would have told them. Here's the thing: is if they had actually trusted me enough to ask me,
yeah,
I would have just told them, because I am very open. I've always been very open. Coming out was the best thing I ever did. It was the absolute best, other than marrying you.
Tease face.
But other than knowing you, and marrying you and getting to live my life with you, coming out was the best thing I ever did, because I don't think I could ever be true to you without being true to me.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever would have opened up to you in any emotional way if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So now I'm more cognizant of all the things I want to tell you, I'm able to tell you, because I've already told you the hardest thing.
Yeah. So everything else is kind of like, it's icing on the cake. Well,
and that's the way I think that Mark is.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Mark Shub, is that he was so drastically the other way. And that's the thing I like, is we often are.
He was, because I was literally going to say, I'd forgotten how the movie ended. I forgot about that part. So for me, I kept looking at him going, what is with the weird Amish beard? You know, he has the
But
most.
you noticed it was disappearing slowly from his face.
It was going further and further. Yeah, but he
was doing what I did, which is gradual transition.
Mm-hmm.
It is, if I gradually transition, will they notice I was ever presenting as a boy?
Yeah.
Will they just think, oh, well, she's always been a woman, so I don't understand.
But also what I appreciate is while you know it's Mark Shearer in a wig and makeup, if you didn't know it was Mark Shearer in a wig and makeup, you wouldn't have, I don't think it's so hard to think of that person, or sorry, Harry Shearer, not Mark. Mark is the character's name. But it's not so hard to think of that person as female. I don't think.
No, that's exactly it. Because he wasn't doing a parody.
No.
He was playing the character of her.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes all the difference. I think he was so very respectful with it.
I think so. I
think they all were. I think the movie handled it with grace and dignity and still used comedy without being mean about it, without being a bully about it.
I agree.
Without making me feel, I did not feel any cringe at all.
No.
Now, I'm not saying other trans people won't. You are perfectly right to have your own
feelings. Your feelings are valid.
You'll either come to terms with it or you won't like it. And that is okay too.
Yes.
You're free to have your emotions. But I'm saying as a trans woman, I felt no issues with this. I was happy to be represented by Mark, or what did he say?
Harry Shearer, but it's Mark, the character's name. I don't think did they say the name?
She did say it when the character did say it, but
I kind of want to say Linda, but I could be wrong.
I can't remember. But anyway, Harry did a great job.
Yes.
I felt no issues with it. I felt they did it with respect and still with a comedy I appreciated.
Yeah, because Harry Shearer did not change. It's for a man of many voices. He did not change his voice.
Right. And in some ways that empowers me because I have
hang-ups about.
Well, I have dysphoria about my voice. So you will hear all these versions on the podcast over time where I tweak the mic settings. Now, I'm not trying to make myself more feminine or could just use the voice changer thing on here.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do is relieve some of that bottom, relieve the bass of it. So that, because I know I don't sound deep. I don't have a deep voice. But I have that affectation of years of trying to portray a man to everyone else. It's hard to unlearn that thing that I did learn in order to fit in. And now it's the ghost I can't shake. So that dysphoria hangs around because I learned the trait, not because it was inherent.
And me, I just want to sound like Kathleen Turner.
I mean, who doesn't?
Oh, God.
She's amazing.
I mean, even with her basses and altos, I would love.
When she started doing like a lot of the movies and stuff, especially like Jewel of the Nile, stuff like that, I wanted to be her so badly.
Oh my God.
She was so beautiful. And the voice, her voice was silky and rough at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, here's what it is. It's like if someone took a lingerie and slapped you with it.
I always say honey over gravel.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful because it's got authority. It's got a feeling of authority and a feminine power.
So I don't like the taste of scotch and whiskey, but her voice is smoky scotch.
I can see that, like a smoky whiskey of some kind.
Yeah, something, even though I couldn't, it's what I imagine it tastes like.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, because I don't like the taste of it, but it's what I imagine. Scotch is highly upsetting because it's called scotch, but does not taste like butterscotch.
I know.
And it looks like it should,
Well, that's why they don't put butter before that.
Because
if they did that would be false advertising.
But it looks like it should taste like butterscotch.
I know, baby. I'm sorry.
So we're going to do something a little different. And this is going to be a longer episode, only because we're introducing a new segment, sort of.
Well, we're readjusting. We're readjusting an old segment.
So this is called the Stitch Count. Does this movie create a cozy quilt? So before we wrap up, we're going to try this, the Stitch Count. where we gently tug at the seams of the movie that we just watched. This isn't about perfection or gotchas. It's about whether the movie actually holds together when you look at who gets to matter and why. So we're going to run through 3 lenses. First, we're going to stick with our tried and true Castellini, where we check if women aren't just present, but actually speaking, and structurally necessary to the story actually ending the way it does. Then we're going to look at inclusivity and gaze. Who's included? How are they treated? And whether the camera and the narrative respect them as full people instead of just set dressing. And then finally, we're going to measure everything against the Tremors gold standard. Now, if you have listened to our Tremors episode, you will totally understand. Because Tremors is what happens when a movie quietly assumes everyone can be competent and worth saving, and then just gets on with it. Add it all up, and we ask the real question. Does this film stitch its characters together into something warm, sturdy, and communal? Or does the quilt start coming apart when you pull on it?
Beautifully said.
Thank y'all.
So let's start out with the Castellini test.
Yes.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Oh, there's a lot.
There is. There is. Can you name some?
Yes.
Just a few.
Okay, we got Mickey Crab.
Sure.
We have Lori Bonner.
Yeah.
We have Sissy Knox.
I think that's good.
Okay.
But yes, we do. We have plenty of women characters in this.
Yes.
Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
So that gets harder because while Jane Lynch's character, Lori Bonner, does talk about the music, she talks a lot about her relationship with Terry.
Sure, but not always at the same time.
True. And Mickey talks about her relationship with Mitch, but she also talks about the industry, and she doesn't always just talk. She's not talking to Mitch all the time. And it's like I said, it's not always about the relationship, but it kind of does. They do talk about the relationship. It's kind of, that one's a hard one.
No, I think that's still valid. I think that it's not focused entirely on the relationship. There are moments where she is talking about the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Her relationship is in that industry,
yes,
but it's not because of it.
True.
And Lori Bonner is just talking, or not Lori Bonner, Sissy Knox.
Yes.
It's just talking about her past.
That is true. She does talk about her past, and she's talking about, how she was found and
so I think that one,
given a chance to fix herself. Yeah.
Right. And I think that one is a pass on that.
Okay.
At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Well, I mean, you can say Mickey, because if it wasn't for Mickey and Mitch, really, you would have a movie, but it would just be about the folksmen and the new Main Street Singers, and Mickey and Mitch, and that whole dynamic wouldn't be a part of it, and it would be, I think, a lost.
So to carry over the metaphor that the folksmen were the foundation.
Yes.
Mitch and Mickey were the tent
of
the revival. So they were the thing that covered them. They were the thing that made you warm.
Yeah.
That held you in a place that you would call a home.
Mm-hmm.
So a foundation is just a base. Without the home, you wouldn't have a place to be.
Well, and Steinblum wouldn't have spent the first part of the movie trying to convince Mitch to perform at the reunion, because he even says, without you guys, there's really no reunion.
So I'm going to say it's a pass.
I'm going to say it's a pass.
It passes a Castellini, and I'm kind of glad it does, because it seems at first glance like it might not.
I know.
So let's move on now to the next lens, which is inclusivity.
Yes.
So number 1, and we're going to score these. It's
on a scale of 0 to 1.
Yeah, it's either on or off. So it's either there or it's not there. And there's a possibility of 4 points maximum.
Yes.
So racial diversity with agency, not just background.
No, 0. There's no racial diversity.
It is a 0 on that. and the one person who is Asian who is in it
background.
Is background, right. LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or tragedy.
I would say Harry Shearer at the end of the movie gives us that point.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
A trans woman who is not a punchline that they exist, and not a tragedy that they exist either. Happy and part of the group.
Yeah.
And not shunned from it. So I'm giving it a point.
Okay.
Age, body type, or disability treated with dignity.
So, I mean, they make old jokes, but they're making them at each other. You know, like, you know, because they haven't seen each other in a long time. Like when, what's his face? Michael McKean sees Harry Shearer and Christopher Guest again for the first time at the reunion, at the backyard reunion. He's like, I think I used to play with your dads. You know, so I mean, it's just a bunch of guys ripping on each other, but it's not done in a,
no one is encountering ageism.
No.
And that can go both ways. So you can either be too young or too old.
Yeah, and even like they bring in Sissy Knox, and she's basically the baby.
But she's part of the group.
Yeah, and she's not treated
differently.
No.
Now, I have not seen any disabilities, although not all disabilities are visible.
But you could also consider Mitch and his mental issues at that moment as a disability.
And I don't think it was treated without dignity.
I
think it was part of the comedy, but only in the fact that he would say
stuff that was kind of funny, and you couldn't help that because, I mean, it was
because he's
like
a funny character.
Because he's like, you know, when Mickey's husband is like, would you want to come and see my trains? And he's like, I took a bus. And it wasn't, again, when it wasn't a bad, like, he wasn't like, nobody laughed at him for saying it. It was definitely a miscommunication moment, but it worked.
One of my favorite moments in the film. I think that Crab Town would be great in the autumn.
Yes. And I agree. Because I would have made
small leaves.
Oak, poplar, cypress.
It was perfect.
And I'm looking at this little tiny miniature train town, and I'm going, oh my God, it would be beautiful in the fall. It would be Stars Hollow.
So I'm going to give that a point, just because of Stars Hollow. Our fourth one is camera gaze. Not relentlessly sexualized or punitive.
I'm going to give it a point because it wasn't.
It absolutely wasn't.
Even
you knew that the women existed.
Mm-hmm.
They were a part of this very upfront. And even the references to her porn industry.
Yeah, I was going to say that about the porn industry. It's kind of like, it is what it is.
It's only a joke in the way that you don't expect her to say it.
Yeah, but it's not a joke, and nobody's degrading her for it.
Absolutely.
She's not even degrading herself. It was just what it was. Absolutely. It was where she came from. And then even with Sissy being the baby, she's adorable and she's, you know, cutesy, and they do have her in pigtails, but she's not sexualized as a you know, a schoolgirl look about her. She's just they're all dressed as innocent, you know, pure.
And what we're not going to do as feminists is ever disparage anyone for being in the porn industry, be a sex worker or anything like that, because we do what we have to do to survive.
Yep.
We do the things we do to enjoy them. And if that happens to be your thing, that is your thing.
Yep.
No one should disparage you for doing a job.
No. And you have, you know, do your thing, chicken wing, because
we have 3 on inclusivity.
Okay.
So I think that is obviously going to pass as far as that.
Oh, yeah, because I think a 2 and under would be questionable.
Right, and I really wish there was more racial inclusivity.
I do,
but
too.
Of course, this lends itself to the idea,
the genre, too.
That the mayo-ness of it is part of the satire.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, you can literally look at pictures of the old folk bands and the old folk groups from the 60s, and I'm sorry, but y'all was white.
In many cases,
very
that's true.
white.
So let's move to the Tremors gold standard, or the Tremors Index.
Yes. So what we have is a 0 to 4 rating index, and at some point we won't have to read these every single time.
Sure.
But what we have is for a 0 is that it falls below Tremors. It fails the basics. Characters are sidelined, disposable, and punished for incompetence or for competence. Sorry, women marginalized characters or outsiders exist to motivate other people. Power dynamics feel mean-spirited or regressive.
And I'm gonna post this so that you know on the site. You can look at our site and see what all this means. In fact, it's on there right now. It's under the stitch count.
Yes,
you can go there and you can see all of this.
So if it gets 1 point, it's because it's got partial competence or it approaches tremors. Some inclusive instincts, but uneven follow through. Characters show skill, but authority still defaults to the usual suspects. Progress, but with friction. Now, if it gets 2 points, it is tremors adjacent. Solid, respectful, functional. Diverse characters are allowed to be good at things. Survival and problem solving matter more than ego, and no one is diminished to make someone else look good. 3 points is tremors level, the gold standard. Competence is distributed across gender, age, class, and personality. Women make critical decisions without comment or apology. The narrative assumes equality and moves on. Survival requires cooperation, but not dominance. And for 4 points, which we've yet to meet a 4-point movie.
True.
Exceeds Tremors. Rare, powerful, and intentional. Matches Tremors' baseline and adds explicit thematic depth. Inclusivity is both baked in and examined, and the film would be lesser if any of its marginalized characters were removed. So where do we sit with A Mighty Wind?
Okay, now I know this is going to seem weird, despite the fact, and we've already gone over this in inclusivity, so I'm not going to hold it accountable on that end. But I'm going to say it's the gold standard. It's a 3. Because I think that the competence is distributed evenly throughout. No one is lesser. There's no group that is better than the others. They appreciate each other for what they are.
True.
The women, they make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And they don't have to apologize for who they are.
No, no one does. No, none of them do. I was going to fight you on that at first. I was going to say a 2, but you're making good points, and I do see that. So maybe we split the difference in a 2.5.
There's no points. It's just
boogers.
Whole. So you tell me, why would it be a 2?
Well, at first I thought because I was thinking of the diversity. But you're right. We've already acknowledged that in the inclusivity. So, no, I mean,
if you feel if it's purposely.
No, I don't think it's not purpose. I don't think it's done on purpose. I think it's purposefully mayo because of the genre that it's writing about. So, yes. And also, it is a group of friends and that's just their friend group. It's not, I don't think he intentionally.
Well, I think the one group who has newer members does have an Asian person in it, and no one's looking at them like, why are you here? No,
but I mean like the friend group when it comes to the actors who are portraying these roles.
Yeah.
So, I think that it does have and especially the female characters are thinking critically. They do solve problems without having to resort to going to a man for help. Mickey while she is married, she is a very independent woman.
Right.
Jane Lynch's character, she's married, but is also very independent because, again, she has no fucks to give about her past. It is what it is.
She leads the cult. So.
Exactly, and she does lead the cult. And, and the same thing with Parker Posey's character. Yeah, I was on the streets, but here I am now, and I'm doing better.
And she's happy.
And she's very happy with herself and who she is. So, yes, I'll agree with you on the 3. So, yeah, A Mighty Wind gets a gold standard.
Okay, so we passed the Castellini test. We have an inclusivity of 3 and a Tremors of 3. It hits Tremors level.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a pretty good.
That is a pretty good movie.
Now, does this count for anything?
No. This is just our own thing.
We're giving a gold star to a movie that did things well.
And, it didn't need a gold star? No, but we gave it one anyway.
Do they care?
No,
Probably not. But We care.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Yes.
I will post the results in the show notes, and I will start doing so moving forward.
So if you would like to watch A Mighty Wind on your own and make your own decision and maybe look at our stitch count and see if maybe you think we're correct, drop us a line, let us know. But you can watch it on Pluto TV for free, Google Play, YouTube, Apple TV, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Fandango at home as either a subscription or rent it for $3.99.
Thank you so much for spending time with us as we talked about A Mighty Wind 2003. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We really loved having you in our little blanket fort while we talked through the feelings this movie left behind, because those emotions tend to hang around long after the credits roll. If you'd like to keep the conversation going, you can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema, or you can send us thoughts and reflections at cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can find Cozy Quilt Cinema wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you're enjoying the show, subscribe or leave a rating, as it's a huge help to us and means a lot.
We have been blessed by the Poe.
She come in with her jingle bells.
Okay, so here are your clues for next week's episode. We're switching gears, folks. This is a wholly different feeling. This movie stars a wizard, a zombie killer,
Zimby.
a zombie killer, and the Featherington matriarch. Mwahaha. Also, while this movie ends with a memorable kiss, one other kiss in this movie was the actor's first one on film.
Interesting. I can't wait to figure out what it is. I'm going to look it up on the Google.
So until next time, my friends, I'm really craving a hot dog. I couldn't remember
I was
how
going
the
to say there's a kiss at the end of the rainbow, you weirdo.
I was going to do the Jennifer Coolidge thing, but I couldn't remember how the line went, so I blanked.
That's okay. We'll do her line at the end of this.
Okay. So
I'll fix it in post. It's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. It's almost 2 hours of this.
yes, guys.
We
so.
have to go. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank God for model trains.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if they didn't have the model train, they wouldn't have gotten the idea for the big trains.